So today I was able to sign my papers for my estate planning. And I'm super excited because on my way here, my son, who is 6, he was like, Mom, where are we going? Because he's so curious. And so I'm one of those parents where I like to include my son into the conversation. And so I didn't want to be like too hard because he's still 6 and his dad did pass away last year. So I didn't want it to be a trigger for him, right? But I did want to let him know, like, hey, we got to put some things in order for my life and your life. So something happens to mommy, but we're going to pray that it doesn't happen right away. And if that's the case, Auntie Kelly and Uncle Caleb will take care of you. They're going to love on you. And we're just going to make sure everything is put in writing. So if that time's come, but we're going to hope and pray that God keeps mommy here a very long time. But he was super excited to like walk in here with me. And he was looking at the building like, I think I've been here before. 'Cause he was in there. He saw me do my thumbprint. He was like, oh, can I do mine too? I'm like, no, it's not for you. Not yet. But as you get older, of course, as I've been through this information, I'm going to pass that along to my son so he can tell his children. And now we can create like a different legacy. I seen like estate planning before, but I didn't know like how important it was until it was broken down into the summit that I came to last year. And so I'm like, yes, I got to do this because I know how important it is to have all your ducks in a row and just make sure everything is in writing because my mom was incapacitated. Me and my brother didn't know. We didn't know what her wishes was. And that was like one of the things I said, I do not want to put that burden on my family if that time or when that time comes. I want it to be all laid out. This is what I wanted to do, da da da, because we didn't know. And so we just made a sound decision together the best way that we could. But again, I always had that thought like, did I honor her what she really wanted? Because we never had that conversation. And I'm like, we're all born to die. So it's uncomfortable, but we have to educate ourselves and get people prepared because it's going to come. And so it's like, I would rather people have like, it be easy. You're still going to be sad, but the other stuff that you have to worry about, like where this going to go, who's going to get this, how much money, how this, and how it's going to be divided, or now we got to go to court and figure out how it's going to, that's a lot to handle on top of grief. So I want that to be a smooth transaction for my son and my family and whatever future child I may have. The workshop that I went to last year was my first workshop that I went to. It was in Pasadena. The attorney had came up. It was just he was striking all these questions that I already said I needed to. I just didn't know how to navigate the process because I feel like I get overwhelmed easily because I'm a planner. But then if I don't know how to get to point B, then I get stressed out and I'm like, forget it. So once he were speaking and he kind of navigated the process, and I'm a visual learner, so it was a lot of videos and things like that. So it made me connect the dots a lot easier. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do this. I need to do this immediately because again, when my son dad passed away, that was suddenly, he was young. He was only 38 years old. Life is not promised. And I'm like, I just don't want to leave my son, you know, with where he's going to go, because at that point now he's going to have no parents. I would say it is necessary to have an estate plan for when you do pass away. It's an uncomfortable conversation to have because no one wants to think about what's going to happen when you die, right? However, it's needed. Just go ahead, put on your big girl panties, like I like to say, my grandma used to say, and just get it done. Have those conversations, talk to whomever your family member is going to be, figure out who that person is going to be for your trust, who's going to be over your power of attorney. Get those people in line, make sure you're making sound decisions while you're in your right mind, right? While you're not under stress or anything like that. So when you have everything put in place, it can be executed seamlessly. And I'm like, I just think, we just have to stop being scared, get out of our comfortability. Because a lot of times we weren't taught this growing up, and so it's all new. And sometimes when you walk into new territory, it be really scary. But and it just walked my hand. They walked me through this process. I feel like a weight lifted off my shoulders because of this. And it's just thank you so much for providing this space for a lot of the fire victims. We have a lot that went on, but be able to take away something so monumental for life itself. I thank you for volunteers, all the different connections, the resources, the workshops, and information I have taken. I can pass that on to my son and even my friends so they can get knowledgeable about what's happened. So again, thank you so much for providing the services to us, and thank you.